this evening to talk to us about exercises in geriatric dogs. What I'm just going to do is thank our sponsor for this live event. So that is Celtic SMR. That should come up in just a second. Yeah, Celtic SMR. They offer a range of equipment for small animal practices, and they're a leader in imaging and therapeutic laser equipment. So thank you very much to Celtic SMR. I'll just let that play through again. Fabulous. Right, it's absolutely lovely to have you here, Laurie. Thank you so much for being with us again. I know you've spoken with Hannah before, and you've had a great audience. You know, it is just fabulous. You're a bit of a rock star in the veterinary rehabilitation world, so it is lovely to speak with you. So if you would like to just a bit introduce yourself to people who haven't seen the previous videos, please, go ahead and let us know what you're all about.
All right, so I'm Dr. Laurie McCauley, graduated from vet school in '92, did 6 years of general practice, got extremely bored, fell down the stairs at 3 o'clock in the morning putting my dogs out, had to go to a physical therapist and went, oh my God, this is so cool. This is what I want to do. And I had the first rehab clinic in the world. I designed the first underwater treadmill. I helped design a bunch of other cool, fun stuff with different companies. And I was on the faculty for Canine Rehab Institute, which has certified over 1,500 vets, techs, and PTs in rehab. And I did that for 14 years, written a bunch of textbook chapters and journal articles and all kinds of fun stuff. And then I moved to North Carolina, which in the US, which is like paradise. And I have a mobile clinic and a learning platform. So I actually had the first rehab only center in the world, which is really, really cool. I like to be innovative and I love to teach. I've taught all over the world. And I'm really happy to talk to you guys about geriatric dogs and arthritis and exercise. And I have all kinds of really cool, fun facts. And we'll go through those. And then we're going to go through a couple exercises. So whether you're a vet, tech, PT, pet parent, you'll get something.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. Yeah, really looking forward to it. Okay, so let me start off with here. I know you've got this brand new course coming through.
I do.
Where would you like? Yeah, which I'm really excited about. I've had a little look into it, and it just seems absolutely perfect, exactly sort of thing that I think, to be honest, all of us should be looking into, because it's a really nice, easy way to help our patients, as so many of them could do with this exercise help, really.
It is. It's designed as an exercise course specifically. I picked the exercises specifically for geriatric patients. So patients that have arthritis or maybe are weaker or they have metabolic disease or something like that. Yet I have added challenges to take it so that some of these or most of these exercises can even be used in advanced or extremely athletic dogs and be beneficial.
So any dog could use this.
Any dog can use it. And it's enough information for most vets, techs, and PTs, even if they're not rehab trained, to be able to get the information, turn around and teach it to their clients as well as their patients so that they can help dogs all over the world, which is always my goal.
To me, this seems like just such a brilliant idea, because I know I've got so many. I've probably seen about 5 patients today alone that would have benefited from this just incredibly, really. And it's just a really nice, easy way that we can give an owner a skill and feel like they're doing something to help their animal. And I know that I do have some clients where they, there are concerns with money, or they can't afford to go for potentially some physiotherapy or hydrotherapy, but if they can just do something at home to help their animal, it makes a world of difference. And I think that's
does. I mean,
so I really, really recommend it.
With the course, just one little bit about that is there's no video longer than 30 minutes, and most of them are like 5 to 20. so that it's in short bites, so it's easy for people
Yeah.
to digest. And the exercises are, I mean, I go through a bunch of information about exercises, what to look for, when to choose it, but it's also how dogs cheat, how to prevent them from cheating, how to make sure the biomechanics of the handler, whether it be the doctor or the pet parent, is correct so that they don't get injured. It's about safety and when to discontinue the exercise or when to increase in challenge. So it really is the full package. And it's
Amazing.
14 hours of one-on-one time. If people want to be in the gold package, they actually have direct access to me, and we have meetings every other week. Or they can do it, and it'll be about 13 hours of just of videos, so that they can do it at their own pace. I can watch this video today and that video tomorrow. So it gives people both the opportunity to either just watch it or watch it and ask questions, or watch it, ask questions, and send in homework so we can discuss it, so we can all participate. So it's just really cool. A whole new way of learning.
Oh, it does. It's really cool. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, really amazing. Okay, so do you think are there specific exercises that would be suitable for almost all of our patients that we can use almost on a daily basis just to get people started? Or are they really focused on particular conditions or areas of concern?
So the exercises in the course are both, right? So there's some exercises that are more challenging, but there's a lot of foundation exercises. This is like a beginner level. You can take it anywhere from the dog who just has trouble just getting up and walking across the room, all the way to the dog that is still competing in sports. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. So it really is just absolutely any animal can have an advantage to this. I think I saw on one of your little blog clips as well that actually even puppies could have, some advantage to actually starting with this. Just
so
helping with their core.
Can we pop into some research for a minute?
Absolutely. Yeah, please do. Yeah.
I'm also a nerd and I love to learn. So to give you an idea, I have a PowerPoint presentation that has a picture of a young dog brain and an old dog brain. I have to do it this way, old dog brain. And what it shows is that the hippocampus, which is part of the brain, is way, way, way smaller in an old dog brain, in the average old dog brain, as compared to the young dog. Yet there's research that shows that we can not only preserve that, the hippocampus is the part of the brain that's in charge of learning and memory. So we talk about neuroplasticity. We can not only preserve that, but we can actually increase it. So one of the research studies took mice that were older, right? Because mice only live for like 2 years. And they just gave them 45 days of enrichment, things to play with, things to look at. Their hippocampus and the percentage of neurons in their hippocampus increased by 15%, right? And that's huge. That's a lot of tissue, 15%.
That is incredible.
So then they said, okay, well, let's see what happens if we take mice in their second half of their life, so mid-age to older, and do it for 10 months. So that's that's about a third of the mouse's life, the older part. And what they found was a 5-fold increase in the size of their hippocampus compared to the mice that did not have enrichment. It's huge.
That's amazing. That's absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. That's incredible. Okay. So we can use this not just for physical, but also their mental health as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that's amazing. Let me have a look through because I'm just looking at a place.
I'll take it one step further. So what they because again, I love research. They took mice and they said, okay, if they're just walking fast, because mice don't really run, they just walk fast. That itself increased the number of new neurons. And then when they have new things to do, when you're teaching them new things, it didn't increase the number of neurons, but it made the number of neurons that they already had live significantly longer. So when you combine those two, so continuous exercise as well as learning new things, that's what made such a huge difference in the mice's brain.
That's incredible. At what stage, as clinicians, can we start implementing this? Is it going to be our cases that come in just starting to get a little bit older? Or should we really be teaching this to people and talking to them about it really early on? I mean, I know obviously the earlier you start, the better the outcome you're going to get, hopefully. But we're not always presented with them. And people also, I wonder about how people are going to get on board with it. But I think I from what you're saying, this is going to help most dogs. This is going to be something that most dogs react amazingly with.
In fact, I love that you asked at what age. Excuse me. The United States government did studies on puppies to see if they could breed, or not breed, but have a better group of dogs for the military. And what they found was literally dogs from age 7 days to 21 days. If they did simple things like put them on a frozen washcloth and have them walk off, take a Q-tip and rub it between their toes, turn them sideways, turn them upside down. What that did was that gave their brain tiny little bbits of stress. And they found that when they were adults, they were way, way, way more able to handle stress than dogs who didn't have that done.
Yeah.
So, there's that research. So literally, you can be doing stuff with puppies day 7.
This is almost like, right, guys, toothbrushing is a great thing you need to do every day. And also this is a great thing. Let's get started on it because it's going to be long-term so much better for them. It is going to be revolutionary in itself because it's something that everyone can do.
Well, and think about this. When I started rehab, again, I had the first clinic in the world for rehab. That was 1998. There has been so much positive information and research about this that it has gone from nothing to a board certification with hundreds of veterinarians all over the world being board certified in this because it's so real and it's so important. It's literally the fastest growing area of veterinary medicine.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's needed, definitely needed. So have you got some exercises for us to see?
Yeah, you want to see an exercise?
Absolutely. Yes, please.
All right. So I'm going to grab Sid. So for any dog, he's sleeping. Can you get up, baby? He's sleeping. He's like, I don't know if I want to do exercises. All right. So he's now on a non-stable surface, right? He's on the top of my couch, which is like a big cushiony thing. If he's standing here, any dog can do this. Stand up, baby. If I take him and pick up just one leg, now I'm not grabbing his leg. I'm not letting him lean into me. I'm just picking up one leg, and I'm going to get him a cookie because he's being a good boy, and just hold it. It's going to affect his whole balance, and he has to use his trunk and the other 3 legs to maintain his balance. You can pick up another leg, right? So I'm just barely holding it, but it's off, and he has to use his balance.
Just really gentle changes.
Very easy. I can pick up this leg. All right, and so 1 repetition would be to pick up each leg and hold it. And it may be for a weak dog, 5 or 10 seconds. To some of my athletes, we can do 5 reps of 30 seconds. Yeah. So that is a 3-legged stand. So that's one. The other one I wanted to teach everyone, stand up now, is called Rhythmic Stabilization, which again, now he's my little superstar. He's my ninja. So I can actually do this one on a non-stabilized ball, but for the weak dogs, just on a flat, non-slip surface. If I take him and pull him into me, now I'm not touching him. He can't touch my body. He has to push against me, my hands.
Yeah.
Stand up, baby. And then if I push him the other way, stand up. He has to push into my hands. So he's contracting his whole body. And I can push, stay. I can push his front end, his middle, his back end. For the dogs like my neurological patients, even before they can stand, okay, now lie down. Down. Lay down. You're so silly.
Yeah, bless him.
When they stand, I can push on them.
Yep.
He has to push against me. And then when they can sit, I can push against them and they can push against me. And then when they stand, I can push against them and they push against me. Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's really,
exercises.
really nice and simple and gentle on them as well.
Yes. Simple, gentle, any dog from puppy to geriatric, 14-year-old, 16-year-old, 18-year-old can be able to start there.
Yeah, perfect. That's incredible. And that is going to have all that impact on their neurology as well and have all those benefits. Just through gentle exercises.
They're increasing their blood flow to their brain, to their heart, to their muscles. Yes.
Yeah. Are there anything particular? The one thing that I'm really interested in, because I see so much of it, are the dogs that come in with stifle injuries. We all see it so often, and people are dying for ways to treat this. And obviously, if surgery is not an option, which obviously is in the end can often become the main thing they need to go for, even if they've had the surgery, to protect those knees or protect the opposite knee joint becomes a massive thing. Are there particular exercises we can do to protect those joints that aren't what we traditionally think of as hydrotherapy, but exercises they can do at home to start getting that strength up and protecting those joints?
The 2 exercises I just gave you will strengthen the muscles that support the joint without putting any shear force, which is what we don't want, on the knee. And I have to tell you, this is perfect timing. I'm going to flip this over. I have designed 2 pieces of exercise equipment. One is what I call cavaletti jacks, but the other is an octaboard, which is an octagon shaped, it can be a rocker board, a wobble board, and an incline board, all in one piece. And because of the octagon shape, you can have a dog that is 3 legs on the board, 1 leg off the board. Can't do that with any other shaped board.
Yeah.
And then you can take that dog once the cruciate has healed or the tissue around it has stabilized it with or without surgery, and you can motion the whole body, all of the muscles. The only limb they have to stabilize themselves is the one that's off the board. So you can strengthen that huge without any rotational or shear force.
That's incredible. So, really, really help stabilize it.
If people go to www.optimumpetvitality.com/CAM, CAM for you guys, they can sign up for information on my newsletter, on the equipment. It is literally brand new. Nobody else knows about it. You guys are the first people I'm telling.
Incredible. Thank you.
On March 7th. So you guys have like a sneak preview, and the people that are manufacturing it do ship around the world. So you guys can order it too.
Incredible. Thank you so much. It's incredible that we can use this, and we haven't been using it, I think, more than anything, because it's going to be so helpful. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. It is similar, but it's a little bit it's focusing on an older dog. So, for example, I had a dog presented to me today, a little 15-year-old mixed breed dog, and one of its main problems is we've got a bit of arthritis developing, but we've also got quite a lot of muscle wastage going on. And so we're stuck in that little kind of endless circle of not exercising because there's a little bit of inflammation, but then also because we're not exercising, that muscle wastage is happening. And so the legs become weaker and weaker. And we're in a desperate fight to try and reverse that and get some strength back. I know you said about there is some research into that the muscles that are impacting that. Can you go into a bit of detail into what we're looking at with the muscles with the aging process?
Yeah. Yes, I love to. So we see a cycle of I don't feel good, so I lay around, so I atrophy both muscles, tendons, and leg. I guess both, all muscles, tendons, and ligaments all atrophy. Actually, bone atrophies too without compressive forces.
Yep.
From there, I become more unstable. From unstable to more uncomfortable to I lay around more, and it cycles down. So the whole idea is to feel better, get more active. Get more active, I become more strong. Hypertrophy. I hypertrophy, so I'm more stable. I'm more stable, so I feel better. I feel better, so I'm more active. And we cycle these guys back up. It's wonderful for our geriatrics. It's one of the most rewarding things when I get phone calls from people and say, oh my God, my 14-year-old dog just jumped on the bed again. He hasn't done that in 5 years. You know, that kind of thing. And we can talk about muscles a little bit. So just from the aging process, there's type 1 and type 2 muscles, right? Yep. Type 1 muscles is our postural muscles, our endurance muscles. So think about like your marathon runner. Type 2 muscles are your strong. So that's your gym rat. They're the ones that get big and wide, and they can have a lot of power, and then they fatigue. Yep. Right? Yep. So most muscles are a combination of the two, but one or the other predominate.
Yep.
Type 2 muscles, just by aging, decrease in volume by 25%. They turn from first muscle fiber. So each muscle fiber is one cell. One cell is one muscle fiber. It can turn to fat, and then it turns to fibrous tissue. So when there's fat, there's no changes in strength, but you lose strength. Yep. Then when it turns to fibrous tissue, they get smaller. So if you see pictures of Arnold Schwarzenegger, even though he's working out, he's kind of getting a lot smaller just from getting older. So that's type 2 muscle fibers. Type 1 muscle fibers aren't affected like that, but they do atrophy from disuse. So if we think about our circle again, if we don't feel good, so we're laying around, just the fact that we're laying around is now dropping our type 1 muscle fibers as well. Yeah. As we exercise, as geriatric dogs exercise, we can't change a whole lot the type 2 muscle fibers. We can have a huge impact on the type 1 muscle fibers, which is why with the exercise course, I've designed it so that we're targeting those type 1 muscle fibers.
Oh, incredible. Okay. And I think I remember watching as well one of them, and it was focusing on that process that's happening. So that you can't stop some of that muscle from going, because that, as you said, is the aging process. And you get some of this changing into this white fat. And I remember there being a link to that and inflammation, and that being an impact on it as well. And again, into that little chain and the cycle that's going on. What can we do about that fat?
All right, so let's talk about white fat for a second. White fat is bad fat. Brown fat is good fat. You're born with a certain amount of brown fat. When you add fat, you add white fat. And it's not like we add more cells. The cells just go from being really little to bigger and bigger and bigger. And as they get bigger, they produce chemicals like leptin, which literally the fat itself creates hormones or chemicals that increase inflammation, increase pain, and speed degeneration. So getting rid of fat is extremely important. And when we look at the best way to get rid of fat, it's exercise, right? If we just decrease our calories, we are going to lose as much protein, so as much muscle tissue, as we do lose fat. So to give you a quick example, do you guys watch Oprah over there? You guys know Oprah?
Yeah, we know Oprah.
So you guys probably remember Oprah lost a lot of weight, gained it back, lost a lot of weight, gained it back. She went through like 3 or 4 diets until somebody said to her, you got to exercise. And then she lost all the weight. She feels way better, and she exercises every single day. The rule of thumb is when you want to lose weight, it's 80% exercise, increase in exercise, and 20% decrease in calories. Right? So you can't just, there's studies that show in dogs specifically that if you just restrict calories versus restricting calories and exercise, you maintain your muscle if you're exercising, and you lose your muscle if you're just restricting calories.
Okay. So yeah, so we need to work on that. We need to keep up with this. How often a day or how frequently do these exercises need to be done? And at what point do we stop with them? So obviously, they're going to be our young, otherwise healthy dogs. If we get into this habit, they're going to be able to cope with it fabulously. Our older dogs are definitely gonna have a bit more of a limit as to how far we push them. And obviously the other thing is, if we're trying to reduce this fat level, we kind of want to be getting them exercising gradually more and more to get to that point where they are losing it.
That's a great point. So the first piece is I usually start an exercise program at like 10 minutes, because for my super weak dogs, it's going to be do an exercise, rest, do an exercise, rest, right? And then as they get stronger, we can put those exercises together so that it can be like 10 minutes straight. And as we're getting longer and longer and can add and get our endurance in there, then we're going to be increasing our exercises, our challenges, right? If I say, Charlotte, go run a mile, and you're not a runner, a mile can be hard. But if you run a mile 3 times a week for 6 months, running a mile is easy. But all you're doing is maintaining,
absolutely,
not adding strength. So we need to continue to increase not just the exercises, but the challenge to the muscles, so they can continue to build strength. And as you talk about hold on for 1 second, so I don't forget. When you want to burn fat, you can't just meander. In order to burn fat, you have to be doing an exercise for at least 20 minutes, if it's a land-based exercise, or at least 5 minutes continuously, with enough of an effort that you're changing your VO250. So you have to like think about, like, your breathing is changing.
Yeah.
Right. So once we can work up to that 20-25 minutes, then we're actually not only getting stronger, but burning fat at the same time.
Brilliant. So so it's getting to that point where they potentially starting off with a gentle exercise, keeping it and being keeping all that every day. So not doing it once a week, twice a week. We're going to build this up to the point where they're getting a little bit out of breath, so we can start shifting that weight off them as well.
Well, and think about this. If we're going to be strengthening the muscles, we don't want to be doing that 7 days a week. We don't want to be working the same muscle group 7 days a week. We can do that every other day. But things like walking should be done at least 5 days a week. Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, so another thing that's going to impact this, I think there's another little kind of a bit of information that I seem to remember from it, is about their metabolism and their requirements as they age as well. That's going to change.
Just by getting older, the dog's metabolism is going to drop by up to 20%. So if you feed your dog the same amount every day, as they get older, they're going to need less, especially if they're not exercising, and more so if they're in that spiral of less active than I used to be. They're going to get fat, which is going to increase degeneration, increase pain, increase inflammation, and it's going to make them spiral faster. So unless you're getting them super fit as they age, you need to cut back the food. But you can't use just cutting back their food as a way to lose weight.
Yeah, we need to be strategic with this and not just leave it as that. And I think one of the things is going to be educating people with this. And so they understand the importance of it. It's really easy to say to someone, you need to exercise your dog more, but to actually, be consistent with this is going to be so important. It's going to add years to their life ultimately. Can I ask you about one of your exercises that I read about? Because I read a brief bit about it, and it sounded really interesting, and it seemed to have a big impact on a lot of areas, and you can use it for lots of different areas. Tell me if I'm wrong. But I was reading about the cookie dance and about its potential impact on things. Could you go into a little bit about what the cookie dance does and how we can use it for different areas?
So there's cookie dance and cookie stretch. So cookie dance it's one of the really nice things about the cookie dance is it's one of the few exercises that is working neck muscles as well as trunk and stability. So a cookie dance is where you take the cookie, you can do it this way, and have them turn their head, and it's not just left, right, up, down. It's a game, right? they're getting a continuous, whether it be like frozen peanut butter on a wooden spoon, or in a mug, or a meatball, or a piece of cheese, and they're like up and down, and retraction and protraction and diagonals, and we're going to go this way, and then we're going to go that way, and it's just fun and exciting, and the dogs love it. And the rule is your feet stay square. And if your feet stay square, you're shifting your weight, right, in all different directions, as well as working the neck. So you're working neck, trunk, stabilizers. Again, this is one of the exercises that works on all the stabilizers in the limbs to help with everything.
Yeah. This is all very core based. From what I understand, this is really strengthening their core muscles. And just giving them constant little ways to make sure that all that is really strong as we can help it be anyway.
And again, it could be a challenge for anyone, right? So it can be, we're going to do it, and we're doing it on the floor, in the grass, or on the yoga mat, or it can be you're doing it on a Bosu, you're doing it on the couch, you do it on a beanbag chair, which is really difficult. You're doing it on a stabilized ball, so you've got more motion. Sid can do that on a round ball.
Wow, no.
Yes.
That's incredible. Gosh, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, if we get time at the end, remind me, and I'll see if I can move the camera so you guys can see him actually work on a round ball.
We'd love that. That would be incredible. Yeah, definitely. Right, okay. I'm just going to see if I've got any other points that I really wanted to get through. I think a lot of this is based on animals that I've seen. And it seems that, to be honest, getting those, I'm going to have to sign up, because just getting those core exercises in is going to be life-changing for them. And it's just going to help them in so many different ways. Is this something that if I get an animal in and we are already seeing a degree of neurological degeneration, they're getting to that point where they're forgetting things, is this something that really we can see an improvement with, and that people can expect to see an improvement with? Because I think those are the things where often we are limited with what we can do medically anyway, and people are desperate to be able to grab onto something. And so if they've got a regime that they can say, look, if you follow this, we are, this study shows that we are going to see an increase in that neurological health. And it's just going to help them really. Not only the animal, but also the owner feel like they're actually doing as much as they can. Can we kind of see that definite improvement with those cases?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I have a large part of my population. I have a large part of athletes, and I have a large part of geriatrics and all of the things that go with that, the arthritis and the cruciate disease and all of that. And yes, but it's not like just here's one exercise plan, because we can take them. I always tell people, you want to do exercises? I'll play with you. I will teach you exercises to continue to challenge your dog no matter what level they're at. So that they can continue to learn, because that's the big thing with the neurological, is that we want to continue to have them learn, not just do. Why do so many people not want to run? It's boring, right? If that's all you're doing and you're going the same place, or you're on a treadmill and you're seeing a wall, but it's that getting to learn new things and do new things. My dog loves it, right? My patients love it. I can't tell you how many of my clients have to hide the balls, whether it be a peanut ball or a round ball, because otherwise the dog's like, Mom, can we get on the ball? Can we get on? I want to work with this now. It's, they love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You asked about disease before, just a real quick little piece to go in there. There's studies that show that dogs that do weight-bearing exercises, if they have a fracture, and a TPLO or TTA is a fracture, they heal way faster if they've been doing exercises beforehand.
Wow.
As well as doing the exercises increases the strength of tendons, ligaments, and muscles, right? So ligaments are stronger. So fun fact, to change the physiology of a muscle, it's 3 to 4 weeks. To change the physiology, to see hypertrophy of a tendon or ligament, is 3 to 4 months.
Wow.
If a ligament tears, like if you have a partial tear for your cruciate, at 1 year, it's only 80% healed.
Wow.
So we want to strengthen it and prevent the injury rather than waiting until there's an injury and then trying to heal it up afterwards.
Yeah, that's incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I think that's going to be something that's going to be so helpful. So when we get that case in and we've got, we suspect, right, there's cruciate going on, we can already get this implemented. And that should help them post-surgery to recover quicker as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And think about this. When there's no rehab, 60% of dogs, somewhere between 50 and 70, depending upon which research study you look at, tear the second cruciate within 18 months.
Yeah.
Doing these exercises, even just increasing range of motion, helped drop that number significantly. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is something really should be part of our repertoire. We should be doing this already. This should be almost like as soon as we see them in, that's it. If we're not doing it already, let's get on and start doing these exercises. Start preparing them at least, or just helping them. But yeah, preparing them for surgery is going to be, really helpful.
Rehab. Yep.
We have had someone just ask, make a comment. I don't know if I can put it on there. It's just someone. We have a 14 and a 10-year-old Labrador, so your classic old age geriatric dogs, and they're both showing their first signs of arthritis. But they've also got a 2-year-old, so the other end of the spectrum, that has elbow dysplasia. So they're particularly interested in this. From what you said, it sounds like actually all 3 of them are going to really, really benefit from these exercises. Absolutely. So even though you've got both ends and we've got slightly different places where we've got issues, actually going back and strengthening that core is going to be really helpful.
Absolutely. So, and to give you a thought on this is when I have an issue in the front end, I want to do exercises where the front end is raised, right? So I'm shifting my weight back. So I'm using the exercises to strengthen the muscles and tendons and ligaments around the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, while I'm strengthening the trunk and the weight is shifted off of it. So like I have a 12-year-old Mastiff mix who can put his front feet on the round ball and walk it in figure eights, right?
Oh, wow.
Because he has wrist issues. He has wrist arthritis.
Yeah.
So he's using his trunk, he's using his back end, he's using his front end because he's got to hold on to that ball and control where it's going, literally turning it and strengthening everything.
That's incredible. Yeah, but he's getting that benefit out of it. Right, let's have a look. Okay, what about, because again, I was been speaking about the core a lot. Can we use this with dogs that have spinal pain and at different degrees of whether it's be disc related, arthritis related? Can we use it with them, or is this something we've got to be more careful about because of the area where we're putting on pressure?
I missed the first half of that. Can you say the first half of that again? What were you asking?
Oh yes, so sorry. We're just talking about spinal pain. And if we can use that in these cases as well.
Yeah. So think about this. If there's spinal pain, I don't want to so the biggest force we have on our body is gravity, right? And the spine in a human, that's compression. But in a dog, that's a shear force, right? So if I have spinal pain, I want to do something like the 3-legged stands or even 2-legged stands, which is going to strengthen the muscles around the spine to increase stability without putting any added compression on the joints.
Yeah.
So if you have a dachshund and they don't have any spinal issues, getting them to stand up, sit up and bag, things like that is great for strengthening their trunk. But if they've had compression, if they've had a disc blow, then we want to do things more where they are standing rather than at an incline. Now, once it's healed, right, you give me 6 months after they've had a decompression surgery or they've had no pain, then we can start to do things at an angle again.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just being sensible with it, making sure that actually while they're healing, in a healing process, keeping that pressure off, but actually there's still a lot we can do, and we're
Yes.
just being sensible with it. Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I do rehab, right? So for years and years and years, I had a clinic where I would literally have my neurologist send me cases where they would go from surgery and leave their neurologist and come right to my clinic, and we would take care of them, just doing things like standing. Oh, okay. So great study. In humans, they know that people who are bedridden for 4 to 5 weeks lose 20% of their muscle mass.
Wow.
And if they get them to stand up for just 10 minutes a day, just stand, not even move, just stand for 10 minutes a day, they cut that amount of atrophy in 4. So they have 25% less atrophy just by standing for 10 minutes every 24-hour period.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Right? So even when you have a dog who's been paralyzed, getting them up, standing them, moving them around, keeping their back straight, right? We don't want to put any flexion or extension or rotation in there, but getting them up and standing and compression will help tremendously. Can I take that and talk about cartilage for a second?
Oh, yes, please. Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
Right? So cartilage, young, healthy dog, cartilage, 80% of that is what we call matrix. So that's the squishy stuff, the stuff that looks like baby bottle brushes, right?
Yep.
The way that gets its nutrition, so only 20% of that is cells, the chondrocytes that make that, and it's avascular. So there's no blood supply whatsoever to cartilage. The way those chondrocytes get its nutrition so that it can continue to make this matrix is by load. So we compress the cartilage when we put weight on it. Fluid comes out of the matrix and it's negatively charged. That negatively charged fluid molecules grab onto positively charged ions, and then when load comes off, it gets sucked back into the matrix and it feeds that, it's the nutrition for the chondrocytes. Yeah. So a dog that's laying around and not doing anything, we're starving those chondrocytes so they can't make any matrix. Yeah. As well as they get older, they have less ability to respond to anabolic growth factors, right? So they can't respond to the signals that say, hey, turn more on. Mm-hmm. So it's like, again, it's a double whammy. Just getting these patients up and moving, just having that compression, just walking, right, is going to increase nutrition to those chondrocytes so they can produce more matrix so that you don't have the inflammation. Yeah. Sorry, my dog's buffing me. And increases joint health.
Brilliant. Yeah. I think this is going to be something that is going to change things. It will be something that in a few years from now, I think it will be just a given that we have to do this because it makes such a big difference. And I don't know why we don't do it more already. I think it's very easy to tell an owner to increase their exercise, or maybe give your dog's back legs a bit of a massage, or but to actually put a focus on it and give it a name and say, let's do this.
So all right, so you said massage. So massage increases blood flow. Massage decreases corticosteroids. So it decreases your stress hormone, and it increases blood flow, and it decreases pain. So even just rubbing your dog is beneficial. Now for my vets, PTs, and techs, we have proprioceptive receptors and pain receptors in every tendon, ligament, and joint capsule. So if you have arthritis, just doing a gentle stretch of that joint is going to affect the nociceptive, so the pain fibers in the joint capsule, and decrease pain. So, and you have to realize, as I say that, if anybody's going to be doing any kind of joint stretching, the elbow and the hock or the tarsus, when you stretch them, they have to be at 90 degrees. If you do it straight, you're not going to get a good stretch, and it's not like with the elbow, you put pressure on the enchymal process. So you have to be at 90 degrees. But for the rest of them, even just putting them in neutral and stretching gently, always, everything I teach is within the comfort level of the dog, can relieve pain.
Yep. Brilliant. We've just had another question come up, actually. It just says, can you show us some simple exercises for geriatric dogs? Now, I don't know if they didn't see the beginning part, but I wonder if you could if we could do some, a little bit of a demonstration with Sid, maybe.
Yeah, let's see.
That?
Think about what else can we show you guys. So we just talked about dogs with back issues. So let me see if we can do this up here so you can see it without me having to move the Sid. Come here, I got cookies. Can you come up? Up, all the way up. It's nap time.
So good.
So just coming and doing spin and twirl. Ready? Come on up. Up. I don't know if this is a big enough surface for him. There you go. Oh, good job.
Oh, little star. Well done.
Come on, all the way over. There you go. Go the other way. Right, that is working on, again, the stabilizers in the limbs, but it's also working the trunk, the back. So it's flexion, lateral flexors. So that's all of the muscles that help stabilize the back. And again, that can be done on all different surfaces for any level dog. In the course, I take a dog who's done like high level agility, and we do it on an unstable surface, and mom is like shocked because the dog's having trouble. And this is only like an 8 or 9 year old dog. And she's like, wow, I never would have thought that would have been difficult for my dog, right? And once they learn it and get good at it, it's not only strengthens their trunk and all their legs, but that helps them have better proprioception, so that if they are running on the agility equipment, they're less likely to fall off the dog walk, to hit a bar, because they're more aware of their body. So again, anything from very geriatric to athlete.
Brilliant. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Laurie, because it's eye-opening, and I think, I hope as many vets or nurses, if they're seeing this or see this in the future, really, really take this in and seeing the difference you can make by using these, and have a look at your course, because I think it will be a bit of a game changer for a lot of people and their animals.
Can I throw another piece of information in there for you, Charlotte?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, please do.
So I know you guys are in the UK and I'm in the US, but hopefully there's somebody, at least a lot of people from Canada. And this is a human statement. So the Canadian College of Family Physicians have done research and positioned this as that moderate exercise, as long as there's not an acute injury, does not increase osteoarthritis, whether you have disease or not.
Okay.
And it improves function, decreases pain, and is considered an underutilized form of pain control. So this is a family physicians that are saying exercise is great for decreasing pain and increasing function if you have arthritis.
So we need to actually not be so worried about resting our dogs when they have long-term arthritis. Actually get them out there, get them moving, because it's going to make a hell of a difference as we kind of get that going. Start
in their comfort zone and then slowly build out. Make it more and more challenging. So you're always challenging some. And again, in the course, we talk about what are the signs of fatigue? When do I know I've done too much? What does overheating look like? What does it warm up and cool down? All of those things, so that you're really prepared for going forward and doing the exercises.
Yeah, brilliant. We had another question come through. We've got a lady who's asked, my dog has arthritis in his feet. Is there anything we can do for that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. How many of you guys have ever had a massage and the massage therapist comes, okay, go the right way, and they pull on your fingers?
Oh, yes.
It feels really good. So just like we were talking about, what they're doing is they're stretching the joint capsule to decrease inflammation and pain. And you can do that with a dog. So you can come between, and it would not be big enough for me to show you with Sid, but you can come inside and open first one, then the second, and then the third joint. And that's going to decrease pain. And I teach my clients that if their dog has arthritis in their feet, to do that first thing in the morning. So all day they feel better. And then if you're going to go for a walk, do it again. And it's literally 3 to 5 seconds per joint of just very gentle traction. Yeah. And the dogs feel better. And again, dogs feel better, so they're more active. They're more active, so they do more. They do more, so they're more stable. They feel better, and we spiral them back up.
Yeah, get them back up. That's amazing. That's really helpful as well. Thank you. Now, actually, I have a question now. I've just read and I've just seen this, and actually I think it would be really helpful, obviously. Ones that we often say about building up muscle as being really helpful is luxating patellas. Obviously, we want to, as we said, be building up that core and doing these core exercises will be really helpful. Is there another way that we can help these joints in particular? I know we go back to the stifle, but more in a way with the patella ligament that's going to be helpful.
Absolutely. So you're talking about like a luxating patella?
Yes, sorry.
Okay. Yep. So think about this. I can't change the patella groove, right? The trochlear groove. I can't change the shape of the patella. I can change the strength of the muscles that pull on that patella, right? So who pulls on the patella? The quadriceps. So you got 4 of those guys. Rectus femoris is on the middle, and the vastus intermedius is on the middle. There's sartorius, and then there's the vastus lateralis and the vastus medialis. These are the guys that's going to either pull it medial or pull it lateral. I can strengthen those. And something as simple as using a TheraBand, wrapping around the leg above the tendon. So you have to be on muscle, not on tendon, and pulling in the correct direction. You can turn on one muscle without turning on the other. So say you have a medial patella luxation. Now, grade 3, grade 4, you're looking at surgery. But grade 1, 1.5 into 2s, there's a good chance that you can strengthen, depending upon what the anatomy looks like, either the vastus lateralis or vastus medialis, so that you don't have to have surgery. So again, if this is the leg, right, and here's my patella, I can put a TheraBand around here. And if my patella wants to go medial, I want to strengthen the vastus lateralis to have him hold it. So if I take a TheraBand and wrap it around, I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. If I have my 2 muscles,
hang on, let me see if I can move it over.
In one direction, right? If I pull a TheraBand in this direction, the muscle on this side, if I'm pulling in kind of this way, the muscle on this side is going to get stronger. And the exact opposite is if I pull it in this direction, the muscle on this side is going to get stronger. And it's as simple as weight bearing, use the TheraBand, palpate the muscle, feel which one is getting tight, making sure that one's tight and the other one is not turned on. Hold it for 5 to 10 seconds and do reps. And then hold it for 15 seconds, and then 20 seconds, and then 30 seconds. And strengthen that muscle to hold that patella in place.
Brilliant. Thank you. That's really, really fascinating and really useful. Great. Right. Okay. I don't think we've got any other questions coming up.
Do you want me to grab the ball so you can see Sid on the round ball?
Oh, yes. We'd love to see Sid on the ball if he'll do it. It'd be incredible.
All right. Let me go grab it. Let's see where he put it. Oh, there it is. He's like, Mom, you got the ball? Now I have to put you down so that you can see. So there's the ball. Put it here. You can see it.
Oh, he knows, isn't he?
Sit. Can you hop up?
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So you can walk it forward. Good job.
Wow.
Walk it backwards. Back. There you go.
Oh, bless him. That's incredible.
You can walk it sideways, side. Good job. You go
Oh,
the other
amazing.
side. Good job. All right, you ready? I got a lot here. Can you spin?
Oh, my goodness.
Good job. Can you twirl? Good job. There you go.
That is very impressive.
He's my little ninja
impressive.
boy. I know it's
He
kind of hard to see, but
no, that was amazing. Thank you. Oh, well done, Sid. Yeah, no, that's incredible. It's very, very impressive. It's incredible.
well, when you
That's where we could get to.
you know, you talk about teaching, right? I just
Yeah.
keep teaching and teaching and teaching, and the more you teach, his brain just grows.
Yeah.
And he just can do anything. We do all kinds of really cool ninja stuff. In fact, we have
It's fabulous.
a course, and then we're going to do an adult course, and then we're going to do an athlete course. And for the people that can pass the athlete course, because I don't want anybody getting hurt, we'll have a ninja course.
Oh, that would be amazing. Oh, Josh, I want to get started with my own dog. I think she'd love it.
Oh yeah.
Be a bit of a ninja. That's amazing. Well, I think we've covered everything. I haven't got any other questions coming up. I'd like to take this moment just to thank you so much for spending this time with us and going through this all with us and putting up with my glitchy link because my internet has not been great throughout this live. But I'd like to thank you for being with us. It's incredible, and I absolutely will be looking at this course because, as I said, I think it is going to make a big difference to a lot of animals. So yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Laurie. It's been fabulous.
And if you can just remind people or put it in your link, Optimum Pet.
Oh yeah, absolutely, I will.
/cam, and people can sign up to get more information.
Let's go closer.
Here, bring this closer so that they can see.
I can bring this up. I might be able to do this here.
I'm not good at this. There we go.
Here we go. I've got it up.
Awesome. Thank you.
The website, guys. Yeah, definitely have a look on that because it's definitely going to be worth it. It's going to make a huge difference to everyone.
All right. Awesome. Wow. I'm really big now. I'm back. Any other questions?
Right, I'm just having a look, see if anyone else is commenting.
Oh, yeah. Don't try this at home.
Sid's a very special dog. Very special.
Okay. You can say that, and I will say, no, he's not, because I worked with hold on. If you guys follow us on Facebook, we have our Ultimate Exercise Challenge going on, which is where Sid taught Sophia. She started at 10. She was a agility dog. And we taught her, she's in Chicago, we're in North Carolina. So just from discussions and videos, we taught her how to walk on the peanut ball. It took almost a year, but she went from being a 10-year-old Sheltie who competed and did well to an 11-year-old Sheltie who was beating the Border Collies. And Laura said, oh my God, I thought she was strong. She's a totally different dog. Nobody believes she's 11 because she's still winning.
Incredible. Oh, wow. So anyone could do this. Anyone can, yeah.
Absolutely. If an 11-year-old dog can learn how to walk on a ball, absolutely.
Great. Oh, thank you so much. I've really, really enjoyed it.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
No, our pleasure completely. Great. All right. Take care, everyone. And I'm sure we'll be speaking to you again soon.
Sounds great.
Thanks very much.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye.